platform to, speak on what's true and what's mine. Nobody's going to hijack my voice. Nobody's going to take the power away from me that I have for speaking on these things, and don't believe that I'm retiring. Don't believe that, I'm going to give up this game for a vaccine mandate or staying unvaccinated. Don't believe any of that shit, man. Like really be aware of what's being said before I even get a chance to be on the podium and speak for myself.
He's
You know what I'm saying? Like all these people saying all these things about what's going on with me, and it's just not true. Pay attention to what's going on out in the real world.
Up, Kyrie.
People are losing their jobs to these mandates. People are having to make choices with their own lives, which I respect. And I don't want to sit here and play on people's emotions either. Just use logic. What would you do? If you felt uncomfortable going into the season when you were promised that you would have exemptions or that you didn't have to be forced to get the vaccine.
Keyword.
This wasn't an issue before the season started. This wasn't something that I foresaw coming, where I prepared for it. And, I had a chance to strategize on what was going to be best for me and my family. I came into the season thinking that I was just going to be able to play ball, be able to use my talent to continue to, inspire, influence people in the right way. Like putting this on me is just like, why are you putting it on me? This is not part of, what's going on in conversations with scientists, physicians, and doctors. I'm just a hooper, right? Like I'm just a person who's being utilized as an example. For some odd reason, people love to have my name in the mix of just some BS. Like just hearing the way people speak with so much conviction about what I should be doing with my life and what, my teammates should be feeling about me, what the organization be feeling about me. And
did say that the earth was flat, Kyrie. So, that's why people kind of question some of the things that you say, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, my 2 cents on this is kind of short and sweet. He said it himself. He's a hooper. He's a basketball player.
It's funny how 1 second they want to be like, shut up and dribble. And then the next second he's got to be lead political races, and LeBron has to advocate for vaccines, and all the players have to come together to stand against Kyrie because that's the quote unquote right thing to do. That's funny. Wow, it's amazing how the world changes 1 second to the next.
He's a basketball player, you guys. He's just making a personal choice, and he's taking a hit for it. What more do you want from the guy? It's his choice. So I'm curious to see if they start mandating these vaccines to children, I'm curious to see if they start coming for all the parents who don't want to get their children vaccinated. Because isn't that kind of the same thing? He's choosing not to get vaccinated for his own personal beliefs. A parent might say, I don't want my child vaccinated for their own personal beliefs. If they're coming for Kyrie, are they going to come for the parents? I seen Joy Reid. She's on MSNBC. Mm-hmm. I like her show, but she came for Kyrie Irving like he sided with the KKK.
Not surprised. She looking for views.
It was the most insane thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I thought.
What was she saying? What were some of the things she was saying?
Well, because some people were comparing Kyrie Irving to Muhammad Ali. Kyrie never said he was Muhammad Ali. Other people were saying this. So she came for Kyrie for people's comparison. She's like, oh, Muhammad Ali stood up for not, fighting the white man's war. And by the way, Muhammad Ali was for vaccination. So the fact that you wouldn't, it was just really embarrassing. And it was a very clear example of how irresponsible media can be. All he said was, I don't want to get vaccinated. He said a lot more, but that's just a summation. How other people were able to get so many talking points from I don't want to get vaccinated is amazing to me. Where did it come from? But they found it. Very irresponsible.
I want to know why people are still living in this illusionary world where they feel like this vaccine is still a choice. And you use that word all the time.
It
I
is.
hear people use that word.
It is a choice.
Absolutely not. Because if I go to you and I say, listen, here's a choice. You can either die by fire or you can die by freezing to death. And you say to me, well, I don't want to die. And I say, it's too bad. You got to pick one of the two ways to die, and you're going to die today. That's not a choice, man. That is not a choice. Because
the Webster's dictionary defines choice: an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. You just gave me two. That is a choice.
There's no okay, well, when they should add the word logical possibility or realistic possibility or sustainable possibility.
Well,
these possibilities that I'm adding adjectives, because these possibilities that they're leaving vague as defined opens the door for dumbass comments like that. Like, want to define choice? I just told you, you don't want to die. The main thing is that you don't want to die, but I'm giving you two options of a way to die. That's not the right choice. That's what I'm saying. They're saying, listen, you don't have to get vaccinated, but if you don't get vaccinated, you have to lose $15-16 million.
He's retiring, by the way.
The team.
He's retiring.
That was also a rumor. That was also a rumor, because he said in the IG live, don't believe that he's retiring. He's not. He's going to stay fit. He's going to stay ready for his team. Okay. So he shut that down. He shut that down in the IG live. Don't worry. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing because Kyrie said mainly that he wants to be the voice of the voiceless. There's a lot of people right now losing their jobs. Let's talk about the bigger issue here that's being ignored because everybody wants to focus on Kyrie. People are losing their jobs because they made the choice. And because of the choice that they made, the choice that they were forced into, which is not really a choice when you're being forced into it, but that's okay. We'll continue with the false definition because of their decision.
Dictionary.
And
definition of the word.
Webster also has the word bling in there as well. There's also other slang.
Do you know what bling means? Do you know what bling means?
I don't care.
You know what bling means. Of course you do.
I obviously know what bling means, and I know that it came from the Hot Boys, Baby,
Great.
and Lil Wayne.
And the point is you know
once
what
Webster put that in there, I started looking at other dictionaries. Okay, let's just put it that way.
All right.
I know my own definitions. I believe I'm pretty good at knowing definitions of words, as I've displayed.
More than Webster.
My vocabulary is extensive, sir. My vocabulary is extensive.
More than Webster.
Well, more than you for sure, because
I don't think so. I don't think
I can understand when there's a real choice being made and a defined choice. Yours is a defined choice. Mine is a realistic, actual. I want to make a decision for myself and not be forced into making a decision because of the circumstances. If I make what I feel is the right one.
Okay.
You get everything that I said. I said a lot of big words just now. I just want to make sure.
No, what I'm trying to say is you're allowed to your opinions. We all have them, but you're not allowed to your own facts. And the fact is a choice between 1 and 2.
As defined by Webster.
Have all the opinions you want. You can keep going though. Go ahead.
As defined by Webster. Thank you very much. So anyways, the whole thing that he was saying is just that he's speaking for the people who have lost their jobs. And you know what? I respect anybody who's willing to stand by their words and say, listen, if I got to be the sacrificial lamb to show how unfair and put a highlight on how silly it is for people who at one point we were praising for their sacrifices and working unvaccinated and sacrificing their lives. These people that we're praising, we're now saying you cannot have a job. Those same people are losing their jobs. If we cannot stand by and fight for those people and whatever, well, I'll be the one to do it then, if nobody wants to do it. This is a man who also, when the WNBA was going through their disputes with contracts, paid only $1.5 million. And you know what that $1.5 million covered? Every WNBA player's salary that they would have lost and workers' salary that they would have lost due to this little shutdown. Kyrie Irving is not a selfish person as everybody's trying to make him out to be. Welcome to my TED Talk. It's his body. He says that it's his body. Everybody has a right to make a decision for their own body. Anybody who is for or has an opinion on abortions shouldn't be here judging Kyrie. Anybody who had a problem with Texas and the law that they put in needs to shut the fuck up about Kyrie. It's the same thing. He made a decision about his body.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It makes no sense. When people say he's being selfish because he's making a decision
Shut up.
about
Tell him to shut up.
his body. What the hell? How is that being? It's my body. I have to. How is me making a decision for my body?
Yo, if I want to go pierce
no
my
sense.
nipple, attach a chain, and the other end attaches to the head of my penis, I can do that. That's my decision, whether you agree with it or not. That's how I feel. Are you gonna judge me because I do it? Absolutely, but you can't stop me.
I can't stop you, but you would be immediately terminated from this podcast.
How does Webster define that? Tell me how Webster would define that.
Freaky. Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look,
yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000, and we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.